Hi, I'm Debbie and welcome to my channel Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for May 16th through the 31st for my Sagittariuses. How are you, my wonderful Sagittariuses? I hope you're doing wonderful. Okay, so longer reading, I use 3 decks of cards. My first is my Radley Valentine Angel Tarot cards. That gives me kind of the main message. Then I go to my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle cards, fills in those little details, and then I finish with my Osha Zen Tarot cards, which gives us any advice. Okay, I call those the advice cards. So I have prayed, meditated, and infused each deck with Reiki energy, but this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate with you. Take what you like, leave the rest. Okay? So now, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and click on the little bell for future videos. Now, the one thing, okay, a couple of things. One is that on the 18th is the full moon, and the full moon now is in Scorpio. So Scorpio is, a water sign, okay? The moon, that, regardless of what phase it is, it does affect the water, the tides, the oceans. The world, the earth is like 70% water. We ourselves are like 80-90% water. So yes, this does affect us to some extent. Now, this one is going to be in Scorpio. Scorpio does not like secrets. Scorpio reveals secrets. Scorpio delves to reveal secrets. They are the detective that will not give it up. They will find those secrets. So just be aware of that. Water, of course, is very emotional. Water signs are the emotional, the flowing. So just be aware of that too. So if you have secrets, or if there's somebody in your life with secrets, they could be revealed. They could be revealed, or I don't know why, but the angst of holding onto these secrets could be very, very hard for these people. Okay? And yes, the word angst came to me. So let's see. Okay, let's go ahead. Oh, also too, the 21st we go into Gemini season, which is air, and air is our thoughts. Remember, I talk about the Wi-Fi, the thoughts that come into our heads, the thoughts that we sometimes like, sometimes don't like. So just be aware of those times. And that 18th, the cycle for the moon, the full moon is like, the energies is like 3 days before, 3 days after. So that leads us right into it. Also, again, I don't tell you to worship the moon, but I do appreciate the energy of the moon, and I appreciate that this was created by a divine source. So the moon, when it's the full moon, it's the time to release, relinquish, and request. So release the things that, hold you back, relinquish what doesn't serve you, and request, ask. Ask for stuff. What's going to happen? They say no? Okay. Okay. Some people don't think that it's okay to ask for things. It is. Now, some people say, well, I ask and then I get disappointed. So you're going to quit? No quitting. There's no quitting. Okay. Let's go on. First card. Now, these are all face down. First 2 are reversed. To me, since they're my cards, they mean that there is more, it's more of a message to you. It's like, hey, watch me. Okay, let's see what it says. We have the Page of Air. Remember, we're going into air season with Gemini. Logical, honest, impulsive, curious. Challenging information, delays or change to plans. Truth delivered without tact. Okay, you might be hearing something you don't want to hear. Okay? Now, that's always interesting because it's either something you need to hear and it just is something you just don't want to hear, or it was just darn old cruel. I'm feeling like there might be some moments of truth coming to you. And the thing is, this could be given to you by somebody who cares for you. Could be a family member, could be somebody at work, but it's like, hey, you need, this is, I'm feeling like this is going to be, basically on the harder side to hear. Now, it could also be that you're giving this to somebody. Maybe you have somebody who is living in your same domain and you're like, hey, you're not pulling your weight. You're not pulling your side. It could be the same thing that's being said to you. But there is going to be something, and I think it's going to be more around this 18 to the 21st type of energy, where it's going to be said, and it's not necessarily going to be easy to hear or easy to say. Just be aware of that, okay? So just be aware, and then, so if there are some things that you need to be changing in your own life, maybe you do need to pick up after yourself a little bit more, maybe you do need to get your bills paid timely, then start a plan on how you're going to do that. But there's going to be some like hard truths being said. Could be by you, or it could be said to you, okay? So just be aware of that. This one is also reversed. The Four of Fire. Now this is your sign. Now, just because it said this, because this is going to be between, like I said, the 18th through the 21st. It could be the 16th through the 22nd too. That also too. Just because that is going on, it doesn't mean that that's going to be the whole flavor of your last 2 weeks. So, the Four of Fire is your energy. It is also Leo and Aries energy, and it's very consuming. It's very positive. I mean, it's very, well, for you, I think it's very positive energy, but it's very, like I said, it's very, it's just very their energy for you. So contentment, peace, and abundance, a happy home life, the successful completion of a project. So that's why I say this is going to be something that, I mean, maybe that's going to lead into something like this. This is going to be one of those, those standalone type of things. This is going to be one of those things that's kind of like, oh, I didn't know I needed to say this. I didn't know I need to. But that aside, your end of your May is actually turning into a better time for you. Your energies are starting to open up. Things are being unblocked, okay? Life is on life, especially if you have had a long period of time of not being able to go forward. This now, things are like moving forward for you, okay? And this is kind of that one, not quite sure where that one's standing, but this is more the case of what I'm feeling for you, for the majority of my Sagittariuses. Now, this could be for a minority of Sagittariuses too, but for the majority, it's like all of a sudden, it's like things are releasing. I'm feeling releasing for you, okay? So let's go on to this next card. This next one is the Ace of Fire, and this was face down when I was telling you this. Again, this is your energy, your definite energy, and aces are new beginnings. Maybe because of whatever this was, maybe whatever this thing that was told to you or you told to somebody else, maybe that was the spring that released it. Maybe it had to be said. I'm kind of feeling this is a little bit separate, but Ace of Fire, new beginnings. And this is an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, changing your life now. So could it have been this? It could be. Not quite sure on that one. I'm not quite sure if the two are bridging, but for the most part, things are starting to turn for you, my Sagittarius, as they're starting to turn for you. You are always the one, though, that has to, make those decisions. I mean, just because the energies are doing it, and maybe, it could be that, okay. So with this card, I keep going back to it. With this card, I feel like it's, like there's somebody lying in bed and it's just like, oh, why do I really want to get up? I don't need to get up. I shouldn't get up. I'll, kind of like, harken back to when we were like 14, 15, 16 years old, and it was like, oh, my life is over. Oh, and somebody comes in, hopefully it was your mother or your father, that said, get off your butt and you get out there and you get a summer job. Okay? You go get that summer job. And you're like, oh, no, hey, no, you don't work, you don't eat. Okay? I'm not saying that they were being cruel to you, but that's the type of energy that I'm feeling. I'm feeling like whoever this is, and you could be saying this to somebody. You could be saying to whoever this is, a child, a spouse, a significant other, like, oh my gosh, you've been staying too long in this pity party. It's now time you leave it, I mean, that's the type of energy I'm feeling with this. But for the most part, whether it's because it's you and you leave it, or whether it's because you say, hey, you know what? I've been putting too much energy into this person, and I've been not necessarily living my life, that you actually make this turn around. Do you know what I'm saying with that one? I hope that makes sense to you. Maybe it's somebody that's been giving, and that's where the connection is. Maybe you have been giving so much energy to this other, negative energy situation that you aren't going positive and going towards what you need. Because this is both telling me, these are both your energies. Both of them are your fire signs. And this Ace of Fire is telling me new beginnings, new starts, new careers, new opportunities, changing your life. And this 4 is saying, hey, you're actually going to be happy for a change. Please. Okay? Okay. Now, I know, I digress. So let's go on to our John Holland. This gives us, okay, a little bit more information. What do we have? What do we have for our Sagittariuses? What do we have? One card did pop out. Okay, we're going to go and cut. See what the 2 cards are. Okay, 1 card did pop out, and I do love this card, even though, when you first see it, you're going to go, ah! But this one's sacrifice. Okay? Now, you have to really understand this one, though, to really appreciate. This is the I feel for you, this is all the things that you have sacrificed. I feel like there's a release coming, that there's something positive coming for you, and that all the things that you have gone through, see the murky water, this beautiful woman is, she is rising from this murky water. I feel like she's rising, okay? And yet at the same time, her outfit, the things that she's wearing here, this isn't touched by any of this. It's not stained at all. It's not stained. She is also having her hands up in prayer. She is being thankful. There is a rainbow that is coming down to her saying, your pot of gold is coming. It is because, your sacrifice has been seen. Your struggles have been seen. And now the better part of life is coming to you. There's a blue sky, beautiful clouds, nothing rain cloudy. So this to me is like, yeah, you've been through some stuff. We can say another word, but I won't swear. You've been through some stuff, and now enough is enough. It's now time. It's now time. Okay, let's go on to this next card. Okay, here again, this is reversed. Here we have material and spiritual prosperity. Things are coming to you. You've been heard. It's been heard. Life is opening up. This is materially, it's opening up, but also spiritually. So again, remember to keep that connection and remember to have gratitude, okay? Even if you have that thing where it's like, I don't even have, I'm barely making it paycheck to paycheck. But you are making it. You might be barely making it. So be thankful for even the small things, because it's with the small things that you're given then bigger things, okay? So now here's your last card, and this is foundation and achievements. Again, you have this rainbow, okay? Again, you have this home. You have this sense of family. You have this thing of solid ground, okay? This is what's coming to you. This is what's there for you, okay? Things, if you haven't been having that, things are about to change for you. I really feel that's going to happen. I feel that's going to happen. Okay. Any last words of advice for my Sagittariuses? I feel like things are changing for you. This has been, I've got a couple of things. I'm going to put them on. I found them on Facebook, on the internet. I have a couple of sites I like to go to, and I'll share them. It's like, hey, we'll get the information where we get the information. And one of the sites was talking about how people, if you have been feeling that you've been blocked, the last 7 years, and you've been very unstable with your life and just things itself, that things were going to be changing. I'm going to post that. Now, probably not when I post this, but I will be posting this in the next week or so. So keep an eye out. That will be on my Facebook page. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut. Also a little bit about the full moon too. I like to post those things. Okay, let's go here. Yeah, Sagittarius, life is about to change for you to the better. Okay, here we go. First card, Politics. Politics. You know, this is again that thing that goes back to that first thought. You know, though, you know, you might not necessarily like the words. There's always, you know, things always appear nice and pretty, but yet what's the agenda? What's behind there? So always, as things go forward for you, be aware how that affects other people. Many people like to see people suffering. I don't necessarily, you know, I don't necessarily mean suffering in a, you know, like, oh, look at those poor commercials, you know. I'm not talking that. But they don't necessarily want people that they talk to do better than they do, okay? And it always helps to make them feel like they're doing better when they talk to somebody who's not, okay? So so as things start to change, be careful about what you speak out. You know, you don't have to share the world. You don't have to share the world with everybody, you know. And, you know, just if somebody says, how you doing? Well, you know, hey, better than I did yesterday. And, you know, just, I mean, you keep it positive. I'm not saying, but just be aware of those people, okay? And we tend to, when they're around, we tend to want to tell them that things are getting better for us. And I don't know what that is about us, but we do tend to want to tell them. And it's not that we almost want to tell them like, oh, please, see, things are getting better. And no, be aware of those. Okay. Next, the outsider. Look at this little one. So this is a 5. 5 is about changes. Remember, I always tell you about that. But look at this little one. This little one's been looking at from the outside looking in. What's going on in there? Do they, are they having a party? Do they have a bouncy house? Is there free food? What's going on? Why do we feel sorry for this little one? The thing about this little one, the strap on his or her overalls, there's only one. The thing is that if you look really close, the lock itself is not locked. It could be taken off. So sometimes what happens is we get too close to the situation that we don't see how we are actually able to, we're actually able to take that lock off, unchain the door, and go in. Okay, so that we are keeping ourselves in that outsider role. And this just says, be aware of that. Be careful of that. Be careful that, and especially, well, if we've got friends like this, be aware that we don't have to do that, okay? We can be part of something bigger. In fact, we are part of something bigger. Okay, our last card is, and this is reversed, moment to moment. This is about living in the now. This is not about living, too far in the future, not too far in the past. Now, some of you may have to be, this may be a word of caution that maybe you're living too much in the now and you're not putting away for the future. Or it could be saying, hey, maybe you've been thinking so much back to the past that you're not enjoying where you're at now. Maybe you've been having so much struggles that you don't see that the struggles have even lifted for you. So this is about saying to you, giving you the advice to at least partly live more in the moment, okay? I'm not saying to be, and for immediate gratification. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying that you say, okay, yeah, sure. Okay, tomorrow all the money will come in. I'll just spend it all today. No. But you do have to create an appreciation of the now, okay? And this is what this is telling you. But otherwise, lots of new stuff is happening for you, lots of new opportunities. Doors are opening for you. You've got to walk through them. Just be aware of those people that may not necessarily want you to succeed. Those are always, the snake in the grasses, okay? Be aware what you share with them, okay? Okay. So my Sagittarius, as always, know that you are loved and be blessed. Bye-bye.